up everyone? Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. My name is Meg and today I'm doing a what I eat in the day video. Today's video, we are going to keep it very realistic, very much truly what I eat in the day. It is not going to be healthy. It is not going to be perfect, pristine meals. That is not how we roll on this channel. I've said before in some of my other cooking videos, this truly is an Aries kitchen to coin Julian. Like, it is chaotic. I have ADHD, I am all over the place. I have to do things in a weird and different way that most people don't cook like. So this has been your warning. Be prepared for what you're about to see. I will say one thing that I am good about eating when it comes to my diet is making myself a decent breakfast every day. It is just something that I can do that takes me less than 10 minutes. It's a good start to my day. And I like having a healthier breakfast because then I can look back on my day and reflect and say, at least my breakfast was healthy if lunch or dinner go downhill. Because let's face it, I'm sure during quarantine, we've all hit up the fast food a little bit more than we normally do. And that's perfectly okay and perfectly fine because we're living in the middle of a pandemic. The election was stressful. 2020 has just been hurdle after hurdle after hurdle. So we need to be gentle with ourselves and we need to be mindful and grateful to our body and thank our body for letting us get to the point where we are and carrying us through this very traumatic year. So with that being said, I'm gonna run through my breakfast with you guys. And another thing with lunch, I'm gonna show you lunch options, but to be completely honest, I really don't eat 3 meals a day. I normally have a bigger breakfast, dinner, and then a snack after dinner. So that's pretty much what you're gonna see. I'm gonna give you some lunch options for days that I do have a lighter breakfast or I do eat breakfast earlier. But let me say breakfast one more time. Normally, I wake up earlier in the morning and I'm not someone that's ever hungry when I wake up. It takes me a couple of hours. So I will have breakfast sometimes at 10, 11, 12, or 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It doesn't matter. I just prefer to eat that as my first meal over a lunch. Not a huge fan of lunch. So for breakfast, I like to keep it nice and simple. I cannot get over how many times I've said that word. It's driving me nuts. I keep it easy. I do a version of an avocado toast. So I'm gonna run through the ingredients that you need for that and we'll get to making it. But first, coffee. Which is part of the reason why I am more scatterbrained than usual. I mean, let's face it, I drink coffee pretty much every time I film a YouTube video, so I would say it's pretty typical. But I'm going to go through how I make my coffee at home and throw it back to a fun beginning of quarantine when everyone was just making bread and being like, we're in this together. And I'm gonna make you some whipped coffee because I'm someone that likes my coffee to not taste like it. So I'm gonna share some creamers that I found that I really enjoy and walk you through that process. So let's get some caffeine in us first. So what you need to make this whipped coffee is equal parts of hot, like I boil water in my little tea water maker over there, hot water, equal parts sugar, and equal parts instant coffee. So I just have a bunch of these packets of Starbucks coffee. This is the blonde roast. You can order it, like 50 packets of it on Amazon if you like it that much. You can find it in grocery stores anywhere, basically. I have my sugar in this cute little container. I got both of these actually recently. I found them on Amazon because I wanted to find a dupe. I saw these in the FabFitFun box and I like them a lot, but I was not paying $50 for 2 containers. So I will have the container linked down below if you're interested in that. And then I also use Almond Breeze unsweetened original almond milk, and the best part, creamer. I do like the Coffee Mate Natural Bliss almond milk creamer in vanilla and caramel. Those are both really good. They're not overly sweet. They don't taste like chemicals like some. I tried the pumpkin spice version of this and it felt like I was just drinking straight chemicals. So to get that pumpkin spice fix, I had nut pods recommended to me. So this is unsweetened, dairy-free creamer and pumpkin spice. Because it is unsweetened, I need a little bit of that sweetness in it for me. So I will typically add a splash of my vanilla creamer, which you'll see as I'm putting it together. So that is a coffee situation. Let's get into making it. I'm just going to start off by combining the coffee and sugar together in this bowl, and I use the whisk attachment. Now I'm going to lock this in, put it on high for about 2 minutes, and then I'm going to take a pause. This is where we're at the halfway point, well, a little bit more past the halfway point. But what I like to do is just come in and scrape the sides. I'm sure it's fine if you just leave it, but I just want to make sure that everything is actually getting mixed in and incorporated. So then what I do is normally let this go another minute and it should be ready. You can see it's a little bit lighter in color, it's a little bit thicker. I could probably let it mix a little bit longer if I wanted it to be fluffier, but I'm mixing it all together anyway, so I'm fine with it how it is. Like I said earlier, I don't like my coffee to really taste like coffee, so I just have some ice in here, and then this is the Nut Pods Pumpkin Spice Creamer. It is unsweetened, so I like to go in with a little bit of the Coffee Mate almond milk creamer that's in the vanilla flavor, just to add a hint of sweetness, because I feel like it needs it. I don't like overly sweet things either, and I feel like it needs a little something. So now I'm just going to add a splash of vanilla. Now it is time to take our coffee mixture and add it in. See, the benefit of letting it mix a little bit longer is that it's not as messy when you're assembling it. And what I'm going to do is add my unsweetened almond milk. Get a little bit of that in there, and then I like to stir it all around. All right, so after a little bit of a taste test, I'm just gonna add, boop, like that much more vanilla creamer in. And I know this is the most pain in the ass way to make a coffee, because that's what I do in Ari's kitchen. Find the most ridiculous and roundabout way to do something that is simple and complicate the hell out of it. Now we can get on to making our breakfast. I just like to have my coffee first. So for my avocado toast, you can do different variations of this, of course. And a quick sidebar, if I want something that's quick and easy and I don't feel like spending the 5 to 7 minutes to making this because I'm feeling extra lazy that morning, I'll do a bagel and cream cheese. And by the way, Trader Joe's pumpkin spice bagels are so good. And I'm sorry if you hear crinkling my dog's toy. I don't want to be mean and take it away from her, so I'm sorry if that bothers you. But I like sourdough bread for this. This is really big. Normally they have a lot smaller slices at Sprouts, which is typically where I get this from, but they were all out. So my husband got this huge loaf of it. So I've just been cutting them in half and toasting it that way. You'll see the other slices in the video because I did not film the intro yet for this. So you'll see the smaller, more manageable slices in the actual clips. I like sourdough because I feel like it crisps up really nice in the toaster and it's durable. The avocado and egg isn't gonna sog through it. So that is why I picked sourdough. If you want to be healthy and use wheat, you can. I've done it on Italian bread as well, but I just like sourdough the best right now. It's just kind of what I'm living for in the moment. So up next, we have our spread. Because I mentioned I'm lazy, I hate cooking. My husband, thank goodness for him, loves grilling, loves cooking, so that is more his realm. Any way I can cut corners, I can. So I use this guacamole spread that I get at Sprouts. Trader Joe's also has like an avocado salsa, and they also have plain avocado in a container like this as well. You can pretty much find it anywhere. This literally just has the avocado, salt, and then 1% or less of vinegar, onion, garlic, citric acid, jalapeno, cilantro, and Xanax gum. So I just love using this because it's less time and effort for me to cut up an avocado, and to be honest, it's less money wasted because avocados, as we know, are the most finicky and tricky things to work with. It may be good, it might not be good. You may have spent like $5 on rotted avocados and you have no idea. So I like to do this, it's already flavored for me, so even less work. Now, I then like to top with the everything but the bagel seasoning from Trader Joe's. I am about half done with this, and I feel like I never use up seasonings or spices, so I've really been enjoying that. You could just cut it at there if you want, but I like to get some more protein in, so I take eggs. When I want to have a bigger breakfast that's going to fill me up for a couple of hours, I will do 2 eggs and 2 toast slices. So if I want to have a smaller breakfast or I have plans for lunch or something like that, I will only do 1, but because, you know, not a fan of lunch, I do 2 eggs. Lately, I've been liking them over medium, so I'm going to share how I get that. And of course, cook the eggs to your preference. I'm just sharing how I personally do it and how I personally like this. Normally, I just scramble some egg whites together too, so that's a little bit more of a healthier option, but I've been really liking the runny egg and the over medium vibe. So let's throw it all together, and the only other thing that you need is a little bit of butter or margarine to put in the pan, and we'll be good to go. Like I mentioned, I do 2 slices of bread because it just keeps me fuller for longer. If you're somebody that enjoys lunch, maybe just do 1 slice. And because it doesn't get fully toasted because of the shape of the bread, I do a double toasting. So I have it on a lower setting just because I am double toasting it. I let this step get completely done before I even think about cooking my eggs because I am someone that cannot multitask when it comes to cooking. It takes me a little bit longer, but it's just the way I need to do it. So you are literally getting it step by step here. Nice and easy. So now that our toast is done, I just cut it on the diagonal, and I'm going to prepare the avocado toast. So I just have the guacamole that I mentioned earlier, and I just kind of dab it on here. Get a little bit spread around in just a second. I know this isn't the most aesthetically pleasing cooking video in the world, but we make do with what we have. Being aesthetically pleasing doesn't always happen in an Aries kitchen. Okay, now we have the avocado on there, and I forgot to mention this at the start of our video, but this is kind of pivotal. This is everything but the bagel sesame seasoning from Trader Joe's. It is so good. Even if you don't want to add egg, just sprinkle some of this on top of your avocado toast, and it is just delicious. So this is the last little step that we will be taking, and now it is time to get to the egg. All right, so I've just dabbed some butter on a small pan, and I'm just going to be using this spatula to flip, and then I also use a lid. This doesn't fit perfectly, but it works for what we're using it for. So I'm just gonna give this butter a couple of seconds to melt. I have my heat right between low and medium. And normally by the time I get to cooking the second egg, I tend to lower the heat a little bit. Now that our butter is sizzling, I'm gonna go ahead and crack the first egg. I try to get the yolk pretty much in the center. And I'm going to put a lid on this just to help it cook better. And I set a timer because I have no perception of time. So it just relieves my anxiety. Setting a timer is easy for me. I'm not one of those instinctual people that are like, oh, 30 seconds have passed. And if I just stare here and watch it cook, I'll just be in my head thinking that I'm letting it overcook. So the timer is my best friend in this Aries kitchen to control some of the chaos. Okay, so it's been about a minute. I can hear it start to sizzle a lot. You can see that it's cooked, but there's, you know, this part on top is also cooked, what we're doing. And I'm just going to give this a little flip, and this is going to cook for another, like, maybe 20 seconds. If you don't want your egg this done, obviously don't cook it as long, and it would be more over easy, but I like more over medium. I like it to be a little bit done. So this is looking good to me. I'm just gonna plop it on top of my toast over here and get the other egg started. Okay, so here is the eggs. I just like to let them sit for a minute or so. And now I'm going to go ahead and cut into this. So I just follow the cut line that I already made from the bread. and having that yolk in the middle, you get a little bit on each side. It's a little bit runny, so you can soak it up with your toast. And it is just delicious and perfection. It's definitely a breakfast that will take you less than 10 minutes to make, and it keeps me full for hours. So let me know down in the comments what's your favorite breakfast, and if you try this, let me know your thoughts. Let's move on to lunch. Like I said, typically I don't really have lunch, but if I happen to skip breakfast for the day or have a smaller breakfast, these are the options that I go for. And again, this is kind of where it goes downhill, and I'm gonna talk about some vices that I have. So for a super unhealthy option that is just quick and easy, I have Lunchables. I keep these in stock in my fridge. It's the 90s kid in me refusing to die. So I personally like the pizza ones, and what I do is I make them and then I microwave them for about 15 seconds so they get a little soft, the cheese melts a little bit, and then I fold them in half like a taco and I'll eat it that way. So that is a lunch option. Again, it's quick, easy. I don't actually have to cook. I don't have to put hardly any effort into it, so to win in my book. The other two options I have are microwavable lunches or dinners, because again, I have to do virtually nothing, which is a win for me. So my favorite is this Lean Cuisine 5-cheese rigatoni. It is so good, but what I will say about this is that it doesn't really keep me full. So this is an option that I go for typically if dinner is like in 2 or 3 hours, but I feel hungry now kind of thing. Like if 2 or 3 o'clock rolls around and I'm like, ooh, I'm hungry and I don't want to be hangry before dinner. So I'll go for something like this. Again, nice, quick, easy to get to. The last option that I have, which is probably the healthiest, is another microwavable dinner from Trader Joe's. This is a fusilli with vegetables and basil pesto. It also has zucchini and yellow bell pepper. So I'm not a huge vegetable person. Like I said, I don't eat super healthy all the time. I'm not going to pretend like I do for a YouTube video. So this is where I get my vegetables from. So again, super easy. You just have to microwave it. It just has the pasta, grilled zucchini, cherry tomatoes, yellow bell peppers, onions, olive oil, sunflower oil, some cheese in it, pine nuts, garlic, salt, and black pepper extract. So again, all super easy options for lunch. And if I want a non-caffeine thing, I'll also use this for dinner sometimes, but during the day, I do have a sweet tooth. If I want something sweet, I am obsessed with the Fantas that are in the glass bottles. They're made with cane sugar, so I just think it tastes different and it tastes better. I love this stuff. And if I didn't have coffee and I need a little pick-me-up, I will drink soda. I feel like I have not seen a What I Eat in the Day video of someone drinking soda, but this is vanilla Coke. It's simply the best. I know Coke is horrible for you. You don't need to tell me in the comments, but this is one thing I can't let go. Ever since it came out, I was obsessed with it. So if I need a little quick pick-me-up, I'll do a can of soda because I am extremely sensitive to caffeine. So one can of soda is like, I'll be good. All right, so those are my different options if I choose to have lunch for the day. So let's talk about dinner. Typically, my husband will make some grilled chicken, some grilled pineapple, we'll have some avocado or a different side. Oh, he does really good grilled potatoes. They are delicious. So if you guys are interested in something more like that for dinner, let me know and I'll see if I can talk him into sharing that with you. But that's normally our healthier dinner, but tonight he asked me to cook and we want some comfort food. So it is all about the coziness. It's cold a lot of other places. It's finally starting to get cold where I am. And a lot of people don't even know what this is that I'm going to share, and I promise it is good. You guys just have to trust me and trust the process on this one. So I'm bringing a little piece of home out to the desert with me, and we are making some Skyline Chili. If you guys have not heard of that, it is pasta, so spaghetti, or you can use any kind of pasta really. But at the restaurant, it's spaghetti, it is chili, and it is a lot of cheese, and then you can add the toppings from there. So I want to make it here at home because I can't get it out here. I was able to find the Skyline Chili packets, seasoning packets on Amazon, so I will link them down below. They also sell the cans of the chili on Amazon, but it's really expensive. So if you live somewhere where you can drive to the restaurant and get this, you are blessed. Or if you live in a grocery store in Ohio or near the surrounding area that sells the Skyline Chili that's in the cans, you are blessed because it is so good. It's not, you know, the seasoning packet's not quite as good as a restaurant, but it's close enough. So I like to use ground turkey instead of red meat. That is just my personal preference and what we're going to be doing. So I found these little packets. It's a Makeup by MeGB video if I'm not dropping something. Okay, my caffeine has reached like peak levels, so I'm so sorry. All you need to buy in addition to the seasoning packet, of course, is the ground meat of your choice. I'm doing turkey, like I said. You also need to get some tomato paste. This is a much larger can than what you need. You need half of this, so 6 ounces of tomato paste is really the only other thing that this recipe calls for aside from water. And you are good to go. So this 12-ounce can will last me for 2 batches of this. I prefer the thin pasta or even angel hair pasta. So whatever your pasta preference is, get that out and have it on standby. And you're also going to need some shredded cheese. They use cheddar cheese, but I really like freshly grated Colby Jack cheese, so that's what we are going to use today. So let's see how we put this all together. I know it's weird, spaghetti and chili, like what? It is so good though, trust me. If you like chili and you like pasta and you like cheese, it's a guarantee you'll like this. Packet calls for 6 cups of water, but because I'm not doing the full like 1.5 pounds of meat, I'm only doing 1 pound of meat, I just added about 5 cups to the water, and then it says to combine the tomato paste and the seasoning packet into the pot. And I do have my burner on so this can get to boiling together. Well, that definitely smells like the Skyline Chili that I know. So I'm going to go ahead and just mix this up together and wait for it to boil. And we also want to add our turkey into the mix as well. Now we just have to wait for this to come to a boil. Right, I moved it back a burner so when I'm making the spaghetti later, it's just easier to do. So we are at a boil. The directions say now to reduce the heat to a simmer, uncovered, stirring occasionally until desired thickness, approximately 1 to 2 hours. So I'm going to probably get up and check this about every 20 minutes to give it a stir, and we will go from there. When assembling this, there's a couple different ways you can do it. So the 2-way is just spaghetti topped with the chili, and that's it. My preferred way and my husband's preferred way is the 3-way, which is spaghetti topped with chili and cheese. The 4-way, you end up adding onions to it. The 5-way, you add beans. I hate beans. And you can also do this on a coney dog with a hot dog, bun, mustard, chili, onions, and cheese. So a couple different options on how to create this. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this simmer, and then all I'm gonna do off camera is cook the spaghetti and grate the cheese, and we can come back when it is time to assemble.
Hot slop. Megan's hot slop. She's putting cheese on it to cover up the slop.
Oh my god.
Look at that steamy pile of slop.
Alright, let's wrap this video up because I did mention I have a snack every night as well. Around 9 or 10 o'clock is when I start to get a little bit hungry. So what I like to do is just have some almond butter and some pretzels. Keep it nice, keep it simple, keep it classic. I love it. It is so good. And then also if I want a dessert or some kind of sweet thing, I really like this mochi, especially this brand, Mimo. It is so good. I love the mango and I love the strawberry one. And I've also been back onto my Ben & Jerry's strawberry cheesecake. It's so good. I'm obsessed with the graham cracker. That is in that ice cream. So the last and most important thing is water. I filled this up so many times during the day. I'm constantly drinking water. So use this as your reminder to get your water intake in because it is so important. That is gonna wrap it up for my what did I eat in the day video. Sorry if it was chaotic. I mean, I'm kind of sorry, I did warn you, but I'm also so not used to filming these kind of videos, and I'm sorry I'm not as aesthetic as most people who do film these videos. I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. Let me know if you'd like to see more of these or what other kind of videos you'd like to see in the comments down below. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to hang with me. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys are doing well and taking care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.